Today I'm visiting a wonderful coastal location with the hope of capturing some landscape photos of this wonderful lighthouse. Along the way I'll be discussing 3 photography items that I would consider purchasing before upgrading my camera body. What an absolutely stunning place this is, absolutely beautiful, so peaceful. Just hear the sounds of the lapping waves and the gulls in the distance, some seals bobbing around too, absolutely beautiful. Now I've come around to the shadow side of the lighthouse. We've got the sun over on the left there, but it's casting light around the face of these rocks and onto the side of the lighthouse, which is really nice. And I'm thinking this is going to work really well for a black and white image. Put the 10-stop filter on and a 3-stop filter on to give me a 30-second exposure time. Now I'm smoothing the water out, but there's some wonderful shadows and textures within the water areas there that work really well, I think, for the long exposure. So it's adding something a little bit different, quite a minimalist feel to this shot. Zoomed in quite tight on about 40mm on the 16 to 55, and I'm using the lighthouse as a focal point. With f8, that's giving me everything sharp from front to back that I need to be sharp. Yeah, so quite a nice simple shot to start the day off, but I really want to concentrate on what's down the coast. I wanted to make this video because it seems like every week there's a new camera on the market and camera companies are bamboozling us with specs. But in reality, if you're a landscape photographer, an outdoor photographer, and you own a camera that's built within the last 10 years, it's very unlikely you're going to see a huge amount of difference with any of the new cameras that are on the market. And I think there's a few items that you could really consider purchasing above a new camera body that can really improve your experience of photography as a whole. So the first item I would consider purchasing before upgrading your camera would be a good quality camera pack. Now, okay, you might think this is a little bit boring. However, a good camera pack can really make your day so much more enjoyable. I've faffed and stressed about with camera bags for years and years, and I've bought multiple camera bags from cheap to very expensive, had plenty of disappointments along the way. And now I have just 2 camera bags, one for my wedding photography and one for my outdoor photography. This is my outdoor pack. It is the Low Pro Photosport Pro, and I've been using this for about 6 months now, and I've been thoroughly impressed with it actually. Build quality, the durability, the weight, everything is fantastic. It's super comfortable as well. My wedding photography bag is from Wandered, and it's a bit more of a smarter bag, but you know, obviously for that type of thing you need to be a little bit more smart than perhaps a hiking pack. But it does the job very, very well. It's great quality, looks fantastic, and it holds all of my gear. Super comfortable as well. So 2 packs that I use, absolutely brilliant. Dedicated camera bags such as this one are incredibly expensive. That's the downside to them. What I've done in the past is I've converted a standard hiking pack into a photography pack. I did a separate video about that a few years ago now, which deep dived into the whole process. It was great. I used it for a couple of years. I got on really, really well with it. The downside to it was a little bit heavy, I think. These dedicated packs are designed from the ground up, and that's why they are so expensive. But you know, if you do have the money and you do want to invest in something like this, it takes the complete faff out of getting your gear in and out of your bag. It makes the whole day way more enjoyable because it's comfortable, lightweight, durable. You're not going to worry about your stuff getting wet. It's got a waterproof rain cover. So there's many advantages for going for something like this, a dedicated pack, over, you know, perhaps a standard bag. If you feel comfortable, you feel good, you feel like getting more photos, and that's what it's all about. Anyway, let's wander down this coastal path, this beautiful coastal path. Fingers are crossed, something epic could happen. These wonderful rocks here, I'm sure, will light up if we get some good light. one thing I would highly recommend you investing in your hard-earned readies is a good quality tripod, and I can't stress enough how important that is for landscape photography. If you're shooting with slow shutter speed, it's great to be able to get your camera locked down on the tripod. Multiple exposures, it's great for that too. Say you're bracketing or focus stacking, it's great to have something sturdy where the camera's not going to move, especially if it's windy. Now, I've owned a ton of tripods over the years. This one has probably been the best one I've ever owned. Previous to this, I had a Giotto's one, which was discontinued. Had that for about 8 years. It got so much abuse. In the end, one of the clips broke on it and I couldn't replace the clip. So some Photo sent me this a couple of years ago, which I did a review on. I wasn't sure how it was going to hold up in terms of longevity, but I can tell you after 2 years, it's as good as it was when I first had it. And this has had so much use in some pretty awful conditions. It's always down on the beach, so I had a ton of salt water over it, and it's as good as new. No movement, no play in this. It's absolutely brilliant. I would recommend going for a tripod that's got nice thick tubes on it, either 28 or 32 mil, something like that. Something that's going to be sturdy, because the more vibration and flex you've got, the more chance you've got of getting a blurred image, especially if you're doing long exposures. So spend a bit of time doing some research and invest in something sturdy, something that's going to last, because a tripod, like I say, you can easily get 10 years out of a good quality tripod, and that's using it regularly. So yeah, it's an investment for sure. And I think if you can fine tune your composition like you can with this geared head, I've got a vertical and horizontal, got 2 sets of panning motions, which is great for leveling everything up, especially if you're doing panoramic images. It's fantastic for that. So what I decided to do was go for a black and white shot. Come back a little bit, zoom out, so I'm at 16mm now, just getting everything in the shot with a 16mm. I'm probably still going to crop this more letterbox panoramic style, but I want to go for black and white because I think probably the scene suits a black and white, especially a long exposure. Now what I've noticed here, there's a lot of water moving as the tide's pushing in now, and it's swirling around these islands, creating these lovely flows, if you like, these swirly patterns. So that's cool. And it looks really good as a long exposure. So I've got the 10 stop and the 3 stop filter on. That's given me a 50-second exposure, which is allowing me to create those swirly patterns in the sea, which is cool. Now it kind of leads me on to my third item I would highly recommend investing good money in if you are looking to progress with your photography and invest in your hobby or your career, and that is a good set of filters. Because filters, essentially you're putting these filters in front of your expensive lenses. Now if the filters are no good, if they're naff, it's going to degrade your image quality, so I highly recommend purchasing a good set of filters. What you often find with the cheaper filters is you'll get a magenta colour cast in your image, and also the images become softer, or you get kind of weird blurry spots. I've tried a heap of different filters over the years and settled on these by Case. These are the Revolution filters. They're brand new filters actually. These ones come in a set of 4. These are color coded as well. Circular polarizer, a 3 stop, a 6 stop and a 10 stop ND filter. They're magnetic as well, so they clip on and off. Really simple, really quick. Got freezing cold hands, they just clip on, it's great. You can even get magnetic lens caps as well, which clip on the front. If I was to give you one piece of advice, it would be to go for a set rather than buying individually. In the past I've bought individual filters and then gone for a set, and those individual filters don't fit in or don't fit the set. So like screw-in filters are not going to fit with these. So I would highly recommend saving your money and then purchasing a set, and then you set then until you break one, really. So yeah, I'm going to take this image now. Like I said, 50 seconds, f8, nice smooth water, black and white shot. I think it's going to work really well. Still got some great light on this stone wall down here. So grab this image now. If you are interested in 5 photography techniques that I use all of the time, please check out this video over here, and I'll put this image on at the end. Okay guys, take care and I will see you soon.